In Wednesday's New England Patriots practice, Damien Harris was in attendance, meaning he is off injured reserve. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Evan Lazar. This was the earliest Harris could come off IR, so a good sign. How did he look out there, and what can we expect from him?
He looks healthy. He looks ready to go. It was a broken pinky finger, so nothing to do with his legs or his core or anything like that. So I don't think there's any real major concern that he's not going to just pick up where he left off in training camp. And we've talked a lot about his training camp performance, but just a little bit more on that. Every single day, it felt like at some point the Harris big run was inevitable. He was going to break one in team drills at some point every single day that we were out there for training camp practices. But he's also just a really smooth all-around player, somebody that can catch the ball out of the backfield, maybe a little bit more than Sony Michel, who we talked about how Sony might have saved his job on Sunday against the Raiders, but I really do feel like Damien Harris is still going to cut into Sony's workload regardless, because it's time to see what he can do. You know, Michel is just not consistent enough week to week with that type of performance, so I think that Harris's explosiveness, his ability to find space and to get into the second and third level of the defense as effectively as he did in camp is something that they could really use out of that running back spot. I think they're really looking forward to having him back. Ivan Fears even yesterday talking to the assistant coaches was kind of giddy talking about Damien Harris potentially coming back. So I think that they think that he's going to be a real factor here.
Well, it's been a platoon style for these running backs for a long time. Last week it was a lot of Sony and Rex because that's about all they had. Some J.J. Taylor had some good runs in there as well, but now James White is also back and Damien Harris. How do you reevaluate this group and how Harris fits in specifically in terms of workload and how much he's going to be able to impact not only this week but beyond?
This is the question moving forward. You have 5 running backs that have all shown you something, that can all play a little bit. Now, Bill Belichick pointed out on Monday that in 2018 they had similar depth. They ended up having everybody get hurt, and Cordell Patterson had to play running back for a few games. So that depth can evaporate quickly in the NFL. But I think what you look at roles and specifically where these guys are going to play, Harris and Sony Michel are certainly more your first and second down regular running backs when they want to go in their fullback formations or they want to put an extra guy blocker on the field, 6-0 line, 2 tight ends, whatever you want to call it. That's when they're going to play in the game. Then when you have sub packages, 11 personnel, 10 personnel even, and the defense is in nickel, dime, things like that, that's when you're going to get the Burkheads and the James Whites and more of the scat back types. So everybody has a specific role. It's really just more of how they're going to divvy up the snaps within those roles to, kind of differentiate between all of these guys. It's really kind of crazy to thinking coming off that Raiders game, Michel goes off for 9 carries, 117 yards. Burkhead's got 3 TDs, and now you got 2 more running backs back that could probably start on a lot of different teams in the NFL. So what do you do with all these guys? It's a good problem to have. I'm sure we'll definitely see a lot of those 2 running back sets as well, those pony packages, to get as many of them on the field at once. But mainly it's going to be up to one of these guys to sort of cement themselves as the top dude, and I'm kind of leaning towards it being Damien Harris at this point. I really think he's going to give us something.
I like it. Well, for all the rest of our Patriots content, you can find it on our website at clnsmedia.com. And as always, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Patriots Press Pass.